All right, welcome back to Becky Amio Horse Training, and I had a lot of questions about why I use a Martingale. A couple people said not good or bad, they didn't care, they just wanted to know why. And this is actually going to be a little bit of a rant video, so try to follow me. I'm going to kind of be all over the place, but there's three main things that I want to address. And the first thing is for the training purpose. And you know, you can get Martingale training fork pretty much anywhere. There's no specific brand. So mine hooks to my breast collar. I get all of my breast collars custom made. The ring's about 6 inches down lower, and it helps give me a little bit better vantage point on that. Throw my reins over here. And you can get the kind of martingales that go around the neck, come back down, hook to the cinch. You can get martingales or a fork that hooks right here and it comes up. The thing of it is I don't use it as a device to make them set their head. That's the number one thing I do not use it for. It's set pretty high, so look at how high. He has to put his head up pretty high for that to actually, him to even feel it. Okay, so I set it, either you could use the shoulder blade or you can use like the throat latch for how the height that I set it. It doesn't do a damn thing unless they stick their head up really high, okay? And that's an emergency situation when a horse snorts at something, pops its head up in the air, thinks about running off with you. And because I ride young stuff, first, second, 20, 30 ride type of horses, that stuff happens, okay? And the next point is that it's not just about for my safety, it's also for the horse's mouth. When I'm up in the saddle and I'm trying to keep my hands really correct right in front of me, when I ride a colt, I'm trying to ride a colt as if they're a finished horse. Visually, when I start a horse, I'm thinking about the end product, how I want them to feel, how I want them to ride in the end. So, for one, on another tangent, I've never understood the hands way up here, that kind of stuff, or the elbows way out here. But I am trying to keep my hands as close as I can right here. Now, in the event that my hands are bad, and I'm not saying that they're always perfect, they are sometimes bad, especially when I'm running barrels. I see it in all my still pictures. But when they're bad, this martingale doesn't allow that rein to pull way up here or way out here too far, okay? Now my red mare, when I see her in still pictures, when my hand does get out here too far, she'll let me know, and she gets kind of pissy about it, and it generally is reflected by how wide she comes out of the turn. But she lets me know. Anyway, the point is that even when our hands aren't good, this is kind of a buffer to help the horse in their mouth, okay? So those are two different reasons, okay? So let's address some safety concerns, okay? First of all, we always want to make sure we have some sort of a rein stop on these. We don't ever want this ring to come up and catch right here in any way, because that sucker will pull on them, and you know, on some of the stuff that I work on, that could be cause for a flip over incident. And I remember being a kid at the first stable I ever stabled at, and there was a gal that happened to, horse flipped over, and it was really ugly. So always make sure you have your rein stops or some sort of stopper blocker. I've seen lots of different things used right here. Heck, you could even tie this rein in a knot because it's a rope. Tie it in a couple of knots and it would stop this ring from coming up, okay? You only want it to go up, so you know, you don't want it to get up there around the mouth, okay? So that's another issue I want to address. Now, the last issue I want to address is that I know that this isn't the way you see it done on RFD TV, okay? And I know this isn't the way you see it done in colt starting challenges, and I know it's not the way you see it done in clinics. But here's the deal. I am not the size of those men on TV or in those clinics, and I need all the help I can get. And I need all the tools that I can in my arsenal to help me get through to these horses so I can help them, so I can make them better individuals down the road and somebody else can go enjoy them. So when you take a look at those guys on RFT TV, and you know, what are they? They're really tall, they've got really long arms, they've got long legs, or they're heavy, okay? And I don't have that kind of upper body strength. I don't have that kind of wingspan, and you know, I never knew that. I didn't know that till a couple of years ago. I grew up in a household where my mom and dad never told me I was little. They never told me I couldn't do something that a man could do. I didn't know any better. And it wasn't until just a couple years ago that somebody pointed that out to me, and I know that sounds really funny, but that's something that they don't address on RFD TV. And they're working on a 17-year-old horse that's been broke for 15 years. You know, and okay, maybe it's not that bad, but even when they're working on something that hasn't been handled before, we're still watching a large man or a tall man that can work with that horse. And let me tell you something, even when I get stuff here that is halter broke, and I'm trying to lead it to the round pen from the corral just to go work with it, and it's halter broke, okay? It's gentle, it's been handled, it's had its feet worked on, and let's say they decide they don't want to go in the round pen. Guess what? I get drug all around this place before we finally make it in the round pen. So I have to use different tools to get the job done, and sometimes I have to work extra hard to get a job done that somebody else, larger stature, more weight than me, can get done. So I know this was a little bit more than just why I use a martingale, and there's a lot more to it, and I think there's a lot more things that need to be addressed here, and I didn't want to go on for too long. But if you guys have any questions, you know, please feel free to comment on this post, email me, message me on Facebook, comment on it, you know, let's have a discussion. You know, don't come for me and don't come hating on me because of the equipment that I use. You know, we're all in the trenches together. We're all trying to have better partners and communicate better with our horses. So, you know, we're all trying to make the best with what we got, and that's kind of what I want to encourage everybody. I wish somebody would have said, hey, it's okay to try new things. If that's not working for you, you don't have to do it like everybody else. I wish somebody would have done that for me. The way I learned, it was, this is the way you got to do it. This is the best way ever, and this is it. And it's not been until the last 10 years that I've learned a lot of different ways and had a more open mind to different techniques and styles and tools and stuff. And so I'm not saying any one tool is bad or good. I'm just saying, hey, this is why I use a martingale, and I don't take this sucker off until I have to go into, let's say I go and compete on a horse. And I might take it off that morning before I go into the show ring. And then I put it right back on again when I come out. And if you've got a broke enough horse, you can do that. And you're always training on them no matter what you do. You're always training every time you handle a horse, regardless of whether you think you're training or not. Charlie, no. So I'll keep it on all the time if I'm gonna work cattle, if I'm going to go practice barrels, go practice roping something, go trail ride, whatever. People come to ride with me. I put the martingale on for them. It helps everybody out, them and the horse. And then, like I said, if I go in to compete somewhere where I'm in a judged event, I might pull it off a week before, I might pull it off a couple days before, it might be that morning of. I might warm that horse up in that martingale and then pull it off to go compete on him. So anyway, all that being said, you know, like I said, participate and comment. And if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out and ask. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, okay? Click the like button, click the thumbs up, you know. We'll catch you next time around. Thanks.